What's good? What's good? It's Lindsey Gamble. I'm at Mass Apparel in Austin, Massachusetts, and once again we're here with another interview. And next to me, I got a guest in Marcelous Atmore. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Thank you for coming out, man.
No.
So a little background: we met maybe a couple weeks ago, a month ago, at a Fairmount Labs re-grand opening event, and
right.
I heard you talked a little bit, and we'll get into that. I'm sure you'll expand on that. And we just started chopping it up.
Right.
So you own a company called Express Cuts 1018.
Correct.
Just tell us a little bit about what it is.
So what Express Cuts is, and I say this so many times, it's an on-site barbering company, right? So it's a twist on the traditional side of what you do in a barbershop.
Right.
So people are used to getting their haircuts in the barbershop and dealing with the constraints that go along with that. I decided to flip that and bring the barbershop to the people inside their community. So we cut hair on site at the location where the clients are convenient. So it could be their school, it could be their home, or what we've been doing lately is going back to a lot of jobs and cutting hair for the employees there.
Word, that's dope, that's dope. And any good business starts out of a need for something. So I'm sure your business started out of maybe a personal need or something that you saw. So give us dive even back into like when you first thought of the idea.
Whoosh. I started the idea when I went to boarding school. Well, actually, I didn't even know it was a thing that I was gonna do. So I'm coming from New York. I go to boarding school, and the boarding school is in the middle of nowhere. So I'm looking around, I'm asking around for the barbershops, and there's like nowhere to be found. Because literally in this town, there's like 4 places. There's like one convenience store, there's like one motel, there's a school that I'm at, and there's like some random spot. So instead of like trying to figure out a barbershop, I just decided to borrow one of my friend's clippers who was on the football team with me. He just had like the quick buzzers, and I'm like, all right, let me try this out. So I cut my hair for the first time and just kept going from there. The time passes, I graduate, I go on to college. I start experiencing with like different types of clippers and trimmers and stuff like that. And I'm getting a little better. People are seeing me cutting in the bathroom, so they're asking me to cut hair. So I'm like, all right, let me try this, you know what I mean? And next thing you know, it's like a full-on thing that I do on the side now. Okay. It's not a full business yet. I didn't start it as a business until later on down the line. But for then, it's just like I'm that college barber that people go to.
Word, dope. I used to have a roommate in college that I played football with that used to cut all of our hairs.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a couple of dudes, which is pretty dope when you're on a college campus.
Right.
Like especially being out in Rhode Island. I didn't have my regular barber.
Right. Everybody got a college barber.
Yeah, man. It's funny. I mean, now I just gotta do my hair because it's just a simple buzz.
Right.
I talked a little bit about Fairmount Labs, and you had went through the launch program there, and talk about that experience and how that played a role in you actually launching the business.
Right. So before I went to the Fairmount Lab, I was just like, I had lost my job. I was going through like the groundwork of starting a business, things that I knew from school and like what I learned on YouTube and Googling such things like that. Working on like Dudley Cafe. And then
it's a great spot.
Yeah, I love Dudley Cafe.
I've been there a lot this past summer and fall.
Yeah. I love that Dudley Cafe, man. They did like renovations and stuff. Like it's a great place to hang out and then get things done. It's kind of nostalgic for me now. But yeah, I was hanging out there thinking I know what I'm doing, and like I think someone had dropped this place on me, the Fairmount Innovation Lab. They was like, you should go there and see what they're talking about. They run a program. Ended up going through the application process and interviewing, got accepted, and then the thing that I first learned was just organization. Because like it's a structured 12-week program that goes over all the pillars of starting a business, right? So there's like things that people need, like funding, marketing, branding, budgeting, all the things that I thought I had a handle on, I really didn't necessarily have a handle on. So you get that understanding, and then you also get the mentors that come along with it. So the structure was great, and that's exactly what I needed. And then ever since going through that program, I've just been like, making milestones, getting directions on where I need to go, having mentors to rely on. So the whole gamut it was great that I fell into that.
Nice. And being a person that really loves content, and especially in the digital world, and since your business is it is word of mouth.
Right.
You have an app. It's based spreading the word through social media. I love the fact that on your site you have different blog posts about how to take care of your beard and different skincare products. And when I go, I actually, like I said, I do my own hair, what lack of hair now, because I don't want to wait, and some of the reasons you talked about earlier. And so I'm looking for those those tips and whatnot. What made you really want to dive into content, and how big of a role does that play in your work, marketing strategy to get the brand out there?
Right, that's a good question. So the key thing that I was thinking about is having a one-stop shop when I was creating this, right? There's certain elements of a barbershop that I can't necessarily take away. When we try to flip this whole concept on its head of bringing the barber to you. People love the atmosphere of the barbershop. People like the knowledge that's gained within that barbershop, and people like the products that are being used on them. So I wanted to create this website where people can not only book a barber, but they can also learn about the products and learn about how to take care of themselves from the haircuts that they're getting, what to do and don't do when it comes to certain products, and what the reaction is going to be. So that's why those blog posts are on there, because it's creating the content and understanding that people want to know. You know what I mean? So that was kind of like the thought process on it. And then I'm like, once I tell you this stuff, I'm like, here you are, you can buy it now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So doubling up, doubling up. And so how do you what's your plans to like scale the business? I've seen that you talk about going to different schools and clients themselves, but anytime you have a business, at least time down the line you want to figure out how to scale and reach a bigger audience to bring in more money, of course.
Right. So my thoughts on scaling is kind of understanding what it is I have on my hands, what's working, you know what I mean, and then kind of expanding on that process, right? Anybody you want to scale, you want to do that. So what's been picking up for me now, as you mentioned, is the schools. You know what I mean? That experience of finding a large population under an organization that's, in need of this service that we're giving them. Because people love haircuts. Students from all over the world might not know where they're coming from. Where to go to get a haircut. So we'll bring that service to them. We'll answer that one question for them is like, who's the best barber, or where can I get a haircut from? So that's why I think the schools have been picking up. And as I, create these events, we go there and capture these experiences through content. And then we go out and send that to another school that doesn't necessarily, I can't really speak them into that vision, but they can now see it. That there alone is then creating this understanding of like, okay, we can do that here. You know what I mean? We can turn this conference room into, a barbershop, or we can turn this dorm room into a barbershop. You know what I mean? And I think like as more people understand this concept, and also the on-demand side of like, the way things are shifting in the economy, like people want things to come to them now. The way we order food, the way we buy clothes, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So why can't we bring barbers to where you are, you know what I mean? And fit into that same mold of concept. And I think that's why people are understanding it, and it's scaling to that degree.
A lot of the business that we see today are based on convenience. Like Uber's it's not, people think of it as a transportation business, but it's really convenience. There's Postmates and all those delivery services and stuff. That's all just convenience. In this case, being able to have someone come to you, whether it's your work or your school, and the comfort of whatever your environment, get a haircut, don't have to wait for anything, and plus you have like the reviews and everything on the app. It's comes down to convenience. For anyone that wants to start a business, whether it's in the hair care, skin care industry, or any other industry, what are some pieces of advice that you think you can that was helpful from you, or things that you learned during the experience?
I think the biggest thing for me to learn, and still learn to this day, is understanding the difference between what feels good and what is good. You know what I mean? A lot of times people feel like, I'm starting a business, so the first thing they want to do is go out and pay for a logo. They want to go out and pay for, some merchandise. They want to go out and pay for, just things that make you feel good, or open up a bank account, which is good. Like, you should do those things. Like, they're easy, they're accessible, and they move the process along.
And they're like kind of like key moments of time in the business.
Right.
The business process of creating a business.
Exactly, but people, in my situation, would overlook the small things of like, customer feedback or client feedback. And one thing that's also easy to do is just creating them a free survey on like, monkeysurvey.com or something like that, and just getting like 50 people responses built on questions that you really want to know. You know what I mean? I think I did a survey around questions. I had like 10 questions around price, things they look for in a good haircut, and if they would like someone to come to them instead of them going to the barbershop. And you'll be surprised at the things, and like it saves you a bunch of time and like going in the wrong direction and having to adjust and then do that later on. That's already wasted a bunch of time, potentially a bunch of money, as opposed to like taking that one step that's free and then getting an understanding. So understanding like the difference between what feels good, a logo, t-shirts, etc., and actually doing things that are good, a survey, getting a website, building it on your own, and like learning things on YouTube and etc. like that.
Cool. And I guess to round it up, since if we have any people out there that are want to know how they can get their hair right, or lack of hair, or beard, or whatever, what are 3 tips to staying fresh when it comes to the hair?
Man, you can get a haircut. I'll tell people my secrets. This is the ins and outs right here. So I cut my own hair. You might not be doing this different. Well, them out there. I cut my hair, what is it, like a full haircut once every other week. In between then I do lineups, so don't shy away, especially if you go into a barber that's kind of expensive. You might want to get you a lineup in between, save $50. You know what I mean? Or if you got a beard, you got to think through the process, you know what I mean? Like it took me, I don't want to know if I'll admit this or not, but it took me almost a whole year to connect my beard, you know what I mean? And that took a lot of like trimming, using different types of beard oils, you know, shampoo and stuff like that. You really got to take care of your beard the same way you take care, you know, the hair on top of your head. Third tip, what can I say, man? Man makes the haircut, haircuts don't make the man.
True.
You know what I mean? So
word, that sounds good. And where can everyone find all the stuff about you and your company? And if they want to, you know, sign up and get a hair or use the service, how can they do that?
Got it, man. Well, I'm on Instagram. You can find me at Express Cuts 10.18. I'm also got a website. That's www.expresscuts1018.com. If you want to reach out to me personally and get a haircut booked, or want to talk about some of the products, or even answer some questions from this interview, you can text me on the business line. It's 347-946-1018. And I'd love to hear from whoever wants to talk and chop it up, man.
Word,
I'm always available.
Word, thank you, man. I appreciate
No
it.
doubt, man.
Make sure you go check them out. Lindsay Gamble, Marcelous Atmore, Mass Apparel, Express Cuts 1018.
Love it, man. Appreciate it.